Massachusetts. I currently live in Bushwick. I work for a pharmaceutical ad agency. Not bad pharma, though. We work on high-level disease states.
My name is Riley. I live in New Hampshire. And I'm currently unemployed.
Well, he's been camped out here for the last few weeks. I've been coming down here because I think it's really important to create real awareness across the country and spark conversations. And there's a lot of discussion about coming up with succinct demands, but we're too young of a movement at this point. We're not even a month in, so we're still learning how to figure things out. And at this point, I think generating conversations across the country about things that really matter is what's key to really pushing this forward.
Yeah. Why did you come here? Because this is a country that, we're inheriting, and I don't like what I see, and I think that we've really lost our way as a nation. There's really no empathy left in the way that this country is governed. And we're forcing a dialogue that really needs to be had on every single level. It's not even the financial sector, it's trillions of dollars for completely pointless wars, civil liberties flushed down the toilets. It's horrifying. I'm scared. I'm a young, scared person, and I don't like what I'm seeing. I want something different.
I think my biggest qualm is that I see a lot of people who I grew up with who couldn't afford to go to college, and now they can't find jobs, and even the people who did afford to take out serious loans are having a hard time paying them off and getting out of their parents' basement and finding a real job, and it saddens me greatly.
What do you guys think is the root cause of all of this? Like really, of all of this, of all the grievances you described, they're all good things. But what's really underneath all of this?
I think that we've been brought up in a system where we've talked about the first time that I felt patriotic was marching to the police headquarters when I finally saw a generation united. There was no longer that apathy that we stand by because we always looked to our parents, and our parents kind of told us what was happening and what we should believe, and now we finally have to take our own voice. We have to get out from underneath the cover of everybody else's shortcomings and take some of this into our own hands. And I think this is the first step in doing so. People are talking about it. We're trying to figure out a solution. We don't have any real, as I said, we don't have any real succinct demands because we're just figuring out what the causes of the problem are. And until we have those answers, we're not going to be able to generate real change, and that's what we're working on at this point.
I think that there's this notion when you grow up in the United States, America number one, American exceptionalism, and it's a lie. I mean, we're so unique in this country. Every other developed nation in the world, housing, education, healthcare, all human rights, all basic human rights. That's not the case at all in this country. It's the wealthiest nation in the world. We have a 20% child poverty rate, just poverty rate over the board. The wealth distribution in this country is such that by definition we're a banana republic. And yet, we spend our money invading other countries and, setting up, torture black sites all over the world. And, night raids in Kabul. And it's like, what are we doing? Like, I don't want to be part of this, and I want something I know we can do better. And so why not? Why not do this? There's nothing more democratic than peaceful assembly, and I find it so ridiculous when you have, Aaron Burnett from CNN, getting all butthurt because people are in the streets actually asking questions and having a dialogue, like a really educated dialogue. We're all here for different reasons, but it's amazing that we're having a constructive dialogue. We're talking about what's going on right now and how can we do things differently. And I don't understand why the media has been so critical of that process.
We talked to a lot of people over down at Zuccotti Park and also today, and people say, well, there's really a greater social issue here. Like we're not really connected as a society.
The medium is the message. So you have people from all different walks of life, all different age groups, all different socioeconomic backgrounds. They're coming together. We're feeding each other. We're talking to each other. We're living with each other. I've been here for about 2 weeks camping. I've slept next to a homeless woman. I've slept next to some dudes who I don't even know where they're from. I slept next to an 18-year-old nursing student named Amber. I mean, just totally different walks of life, but we're all there, and we all came, I think, for slightly different reasons, but together I know we can do better. We can do better than what we have right now, so why not? Why not be there?
And we've proven it, too. I mean, if you look at what's happened at Zuccotti Park, I mean, the fact that we've actually come together, created a media team, we've, there's food for everybody, I mean, and this is all done by us, a bunch of 20-year-olds and, people, older. And that's a sign of hope. At least we're doing something. At least we have the power, and we've proven it to ourselves that we can make something like this work. And that's hopeful. That's the real hope for us. And we have to care for each other. We have to look out for each other. I mean, you know, this is our country too. This is the one thing we all have in common. So let's unite behind it. Let's figure out how to make the best of everything that we've got at this moment. And, you know, at this time right now, there's not a ton. But we have each other, and, you know, as trite and conceived as that sounds, it is you know, it means something. You know, this is my first form of patriotism that I felt since 9/11. You know, I felt united behind a cause. And that's something more than, you know, I've had in my 24 years of being an American. Well, I think you're seeing a generational shift right now. I think it is happening. I mean, the fact that, you know, I've got friends from, you know, Seattle and Boston who are all doing the same thing, and, you know, we share something now. And this movement is growing in its size, and that's bringing together. It's you know, it's a web work that is starting to grow a lot stronger. And, you know, as people move and travel, you know, the ideas are still going to be the same. You know, we are united behind a single front.
Yeah, all change. The first change happens in your mind. What's happened over the last 10 years, it's really been at the cost of our own, expense of our own humanity. What we've done to ourselves, our own country, and what we've done in the world over the last 10 years, it's despicable. And I know as young people, I know most Americans, we know that we can do better. We know that we're better than this. And I'm not, you know, no one should be ashamed of that. You know, exactly. I think that there's a cultural shift that is beginning to happen. It's going to take time, but going back to caring about other people, have a little bit of decency and empathy, and you know, fuck violence, man.
Yeah, compassion and respect. Yeah. You know, I mean, that's it. It really comes down to compassion and respect.
We don't all agree, but we don't have to, you know, we don't have to fucking carpet bomb people.
Yeah, and we're no longer apathetic. You know, our generation is like notoriously apathetic because we are the Facebook generation. We are the social networking generation. We've been apathetic because we can sit behind our computers and have relationships with people we've never seen before. Now we're actually getting out from behind our computers. We are seeing people, we're meeting people, and we're having conversations, something we've never done together as a whole unit. That's huge. That's something that people have not done in a really fucking long time, and now we're all here together.
And how do you feel about the fact that it's happening all over the world, not just in America? I mean, what is that?
I feel like fist pumping. I feel like jumping up, and I've been dancing. We have serious releases of our like happy energy dancing in circles. I'm not really one to dance, but under these circumstances, I'll make the exception.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you. I mean, yeah,
it's true. It's true. It's true though.
It's amazing, you know. It's a beautiful thing that, you know, people that we've never even met on the, you know, other continents, we're all in this together. We just want to. Most people want the same thing, just a basic, happy, you know, a little bit. We need decency, you know, dignity. Dignity. Everyone wants dignity in the world, and that's, you know, that's what the 99% is all about. Just basic human dignity.
I see a wealth dispersion, you know, pass along to, you know, much more than obviously the 1%. You know, I'd like to see things considered like kids getting bailed out of their college debt as opposed to banks who are, you know, sending out toxic loans. You know, and I'd just like awareness. You know, I mean, it's a two-class system here, and I think there needs to be an understanding and a dialogue between the two. You know, because we're all in it together. You know, we control so many of the resources of this country, but we get no share in it. It's time we take some of that share back. You know, call it socialism, call it whatever you want, but there still needs to be some dispersion so people can live, you know, have a right to education. I mean, everybody should be educated. No kid should be turned around from getting a college education if they did really well in school. And they worked hard at it. Nobody should be turned around from that. The more educated we are, you know, the better we can build things.
Yeah, I mean, everything is a commodity now. Everything is marketed. Everything's a product. That's disgusting. You know, my education is not something that you guys, you know, can be sold and traded and consumed. It's, you know, it's something intangible. It's for the public good, you know. What's that? There's a quote, it's, you know, a well-educated public is better for democracy than a standing army or whatever, you know, and it's, I mean, that's just the beginning, you know. We need to step back and show a little bit of awareness, you know, and that's it. And it starts with, again, all change starts in your mind. And we just really need to have, and that's what's happening right now, you know, we're already seeing the benefits, the fruits of this. We're forcing a dialogue, whether people want to have it or not. And, you know, if we keep pushing, there's going to be less Justin Bieber on the news and more real issues, you know? So there you go.